Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Asad Yaqub and I am from Lahore, Pakistan, and upon your request I'm making some new videos on IELTS writing task 2, which is essay writing. And let me tell you, IELTS writing task 2 is same for academic candidates and gender training candidates. So once again I welcome you from my IELTS class. I've got my students sitting all around me, and I'm going to tell you how can you get a good bench score in IELTS writing task 2, which is essay writing. You need a lot of things to write a good essay. First of all, you need good general knowledge to write a good essay. Second, you need good range of sentence structure to write a good essay. Then you need good vocabulary, punctuation, all these things you actually need to write a good essay. So I'm going to tell you what sort of essays are there which you got to write and how you can write a good essay. So far so good? Say yes loudly so that they understand you are sitting there. Once again? Yes. Alright, so now you can understand I'm not talking to the walls, I am in my class, right? So anyways, what do I have to do in the task? I've given you the handouts, right? You got the handouts as well. Task 2 is a topic on which you have to write a discursive essay. Discursive essay is actually an essay where you got to discuss few things. Now for example, if I talk to you about village life, city life, so discursive discussion or discursive essay is you will talk about city life, you will talk about village life, you will evaluate both lives, and then you will decide which one is going to be better according to your standpoint. So I will tell you all that in detail as well. The topic may be in the form of a statement or a question. Topic can be a question or can be a statement followed by a question. They will write a long statement, around 2-3 sentences. At the end of the statement there will be a question: how far do you agree or disagree with this statement? Now when they say how far do you agree or disagree with this statement, it's up to you. You can agree entirely, you can disagree entirely, or you can write a balanced essay. With some part you agree and with some part you disagree. So far so good? Yes. Yeah? Okay, that's good. So sometimes different or opposing views are expressed. Sometimes there is one view to discuss. Sometimes you'll have one standpoint and you will have to prove that. You will have to prove it with the help of examples, with the help of arguments, right? But sometimes you can balance your essay as well. Content. Now let's talk about content of your essay. In the content you must answer all parts of the task. Now in the task, whatever the topic is, your answer should contain all the information related to the topic. Now if the topic is some people say smoking should be banned at all the public areas, on the other hand there is a majority of people who think that by banning smoking we are snatching the basic rights from the people, and then they will ask you. So whatever the topic is, you need to cover all of it. By this I mean you need to write on the topic and you need to cover every point of the topic. That's what the first thing is. You need to make your own position clear and provide main ideas and supporting arguments. Now listen, there are two things whenever you write an essay. Whenever you have you ever argued with anybody? You know, we've got a lot of political arguments, right? For example, two people belong to two different political parties and then they have political arguments. Whenever you got the argument, remember one thing: in order to win the argument you need two things. One is main idea and one is supporting arguments. You got the main idea. What is the main idea? Main idea is my political party is the best one, right? That's the main idea. Now what is supporting arguments? Supporting arguments means why do you think your political party is the best one? Main idea, village life is better than city life. Supporting argument, why? Now in supporting argument you need to have some arguments followed by examples. There must be the examples as well. There should be arguments and then there should be examples, because without examples you cannot convince anybody. For example, I belong to a political party and that is party A, and I say party A is a very good party, party A is the best party, party A is good for country, party A is a wonderful party. Can I convince you like that? No, I need to give you some solid arguments followed by examples. So there should be some solid arguments. If I say party E is the best party because this party has done this. For example, after the last election, when party A won the election, they did this, they did that, and all that stuff, right? So there should be arguments followed by examples. Then you are in a position to convince somebody that your party is going to be good, better, or whatever, right? So you need basically what you need here. Views are expressed by, and there is views to discuss. Anyways, we've got this main ideas and supporting arguments to illustrate this. You should write a clear introduction and conclusion. Now let me tell you about the introduction of the essay. Read the topic and don't rush to write an essay. Rush means you just say, okay, I've read the topic, good, now I'll start. Remember one thing, you've got 1 hour. And in IELTS writing, 1 hour is enough time, 40 minutes for essay writing and 20 minutes for task 1. That can be report writing if you are academic IELTS candidate, and that can be letter writing if you are gender training IELTS candidate. But anyways, whatever it is, you've got plenty of time. You need to spend around 4-5 minutes thinking about the topic. First, read the topic. Don't read the topic once. Read the topic minimum twice or thrice. And after reading each line, you have to realize something. See, sometimes you realize something a bit later and your face is like you are thinking, and then say, now I realize that. So you need to read and realize the topic, because the understanding of the topic is very, very important. Sometimes what happens, you misunderstand the topic and then you write a beautiful essay, and then you are positive that you would get a good band score, but actually your essay is not according to the topic. So for example, if I am going to take this topic, some people believe that if you live in a village, you can enjoy the purity of nature, right? On the other hand, some people think that if you are living in a city, you can enjoy the modern facilities, right? How far do you agree or disagree, whatever? Now, basically the topic is not village life and city life. The topic is village life and the context is purity of nature, right? Topic and context, both are very, very important. The topic is village life. What is the context of village life? Context is purity of nature. Then the opposing topic is city life. In what context? Modern facilities. Modern facilities. So you need to see what is the topic and what is the context of the topic. Sometimes what happens, I give you the example of the same topic on smoking, right? Smoking at public places should be banned. Smoking at public places. Now, the other day I gave the same topic to my students and they wrote a beautiful essay against smoking. Smoking is this, smoking is that, smoking can cause this and all that stuff. But remember, the topic was not smoking. That was the topic. What was the context? Context was ban on smoking at public places. Now, if you write an essay against smoking or on smoking, that will not be good. So you got to see what is the topic and what is the context of the topic, and this context of the topic you will only understand if you read the topic 2 to 3 times. Clear? Then you'll be clear about that. Okay, let's just go ahead. How can I make sure I answer all parts of the task? That's what I'm going to tell you. You should analyze the task carefully so that you know exactly what you have to write about. I told you, spend 3 to 4 minutes analyzing the topic, analyzing the task, so that mentally you are prepared that this is the main topic and in this context I have to write this essay. Okay, now look at the notes on task A and the summary of these in the table below. Now we've got task A. I'm going to show this to you as well on the screen. Task A. Let's read this together. Some people think that teenagers' use of internet should be limited. Now after reading up to the full stop, you got to put your head up and you got to give yourself a message. All right, some people think that the internet usage of teenagers should be limited. Means they should not be given internet 24 hours a day, only for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. Like this, you need to give yourself a message. And remember, you will be all quiet in IELTS exam. You will not be talking. You will not see any candidate say, okay. Not like that, okay? You got to do it all. This is what we call brainstorming. All this process will be going on here, right? So that's the first thing. Others feel that the internet is an academic resource. Now one thing is this, now remember one thing, topic is not internet. Topic is not internet. Yeah, this is what you need to understand. The main topic is internet. Now in which context are they going to talk about internet? The first thing is for teenagers, they should be the limited use of internet. That is the context of the topic. Now they say there, others feel that the internet is an academic resource that they should have free access to in order to do things such as homework and projects. So one side of the opinion, limited use of the internet for teenagers. Other side of the opinion, they should be given, it's an educational resource and they should be given internet so that they could make their assignments, homework and all that. Next, discuss both these views and give your opinion. Now when they say discuss both these views and give your opinion, means you will discuss the first view. What is the first view? That the use of internet for teenagers should be limited. What's the second view? They should be given internet access without any break, or they should be given non-stop internet so that they could do. So you got to discuss both the views, and then they say and give your opinion. So in one paragraph you can discuss one view, in another paragraph you can discuss another view, and then in the next paragraph you can give your opinion. Right? So in this type of essay you're going to write 5 paragraphs. We'll talk about that later as well. Okay, now let's go ahead. We'll have some more tasks. Now I'm going to show you some more tasks on your screen as well, and then we got to see what the topic is. And remember one thing, if you understand the topic of the essay, then once you start writing, now for example, what happens whenever you make a house or a building? First we make the map of the house. That's what you call the blueprint as well. Once the map is made, then building the house is easy. And if you construct a house without a map, then you will have to break several things, and you will see some students, some candidates, they write a line, then they cross it, then they rewrite it, then somewhere between the lines they try to put a word, they try to put a phrase and all that. This happens when you do not organize your essay before you start writing. Before you start writing, the plan of your essay or the map of the essay should be prepared here. The mental map of your essay should be here, and you got to follow that mental map. Otherwise, while writing the essay, if you will be thinking, then you will say, oh my God, I wrote this line there, I should have written it here. And at the end you will say, oh God, I forgot to give the example there. Now what should I do? And this is how you'll know. And if you're using pencil, then you'll be like a kid all the time, removing it and rewriting it, and that is going to create more frustration, and at the end your essay will not be properly organized and balanced one, right? So you got to be careful. Let's see, the topic is, now let's read the topic carefully. Some parents believe that extra private lessons means tuition, coaching, tuition, academy, something like that. Some parents believe that extra private lessons outside school hours, where students work alone with a teacher, can help them do better at school. Others disagree. Now some parents, they think that if our child is gonna get the tuition or the private classes or the coaching after the school from the teacher, that is good. A child can learn more, because in school there is one teacher, there are 30-40 students, right? So teacher cannot give proper time. But if it is one-on-one private tuition, what do we call it? Home tuition, something like that. So that is better. Now you need to see, the topic is not tuition. The topic is, if they get this private tuition, is it better? And others, they disagree. It's written others disagree. What are, now see what is the statement, or what is the question line after reading. Now there are two things. One is the situation, and within that situation then they ask you a question. Situation is this: some parents think that getting tuition or coaching is good. What's the statement? What are the advantages and disadvantages of private tuition? Now you will write an essay. In the essay you will write one paragraph about advantages and one paragraph about disadvantages of private tuition. Clear? Yes. So this is another type. Let's go ahead. We have another topic. C. Traffic congestion seems to be increasing. Now what's the situation? You can understand, all right, traffic congestion is increasing. Means there are many vehicles on the road, and because of those vehicles, there is a traffic jam on the road. So the situation is traffic congestion seems to be increasing, and it's a good idea to use a little bit of your visualization. I mean, if they say traffic congestion seems to be increasing, for a minute visualize traffic jam. Did you see any traffic jam today, yesterday, anywhere? Yeah, so you can easily visualize that, and you know, you need to put yourself deeply into that thing. Those who are the writers, especially the story writers, they are very imaginative. You might have seen this story, Harry Potter. Harry Potter is the imagination of J.K. Rowling. It's purely her imagination, and when she was writing, she imagined all the characters. So you got to imagine a little. The situation is traffic congestion seems to be increasing. Okay, you can imagine traffic congestion. What do you think are the causes of traffic congestion? Now it's cause and effect essay. Causes means reasons. Do you understand? What are the reasons of traffic congestion? If anything can be done to reduce the problem. So this type of essay is called problem and then the solution, right? What are the reasons, causes, and then the solution, what can be done. Now you will not write an essay only on traffic congestion. If you write traffic congestion is this, traffic jam is this, and all that, no. You need to just first write the reasons of traffic jams, and then you got to write the problem, the solution to the problem, what can be done to solve the problem. So probably you can write 4 paragraphs in your essay. First paragraph, introduction, where you're going to describe the problem, and then you can talk about the solution a little. Then in 1 paragraph, totally the problem, and the next paragraph, totally the solution to that problem. At the end, you can conclude. In conclusion, you will write both, that although traffic congestion is a problem in many busy cities of the world, if we take these measures, and then you can talk about 1 or 2 measures, this problem can be overcome easily. Got it? Essay is basically like a debate. You are given a topic, you got to talk about the causes of that, and then you got to present a solution. So it's just like a debate, that you're doing a debate in front of the audience, and you got to convince the audience that the problem you are describing, it's authentic, and the solution you are giving is possible. It can be done. Let's go ahead. The next thing is, what is my position? This is very, very important. Now, for example, you're standing at, I will not call it a crossroad. You're standing at a place where there are 2 roads. One road is leading there, one road is leading there, right? And you are standing over here. In order to write a good essay, it is important for you to decide which way you are going to go, right? And after reading the topic, based on your knowledge, based on your belief system, based on your values, automatically your instinct will tell you that I have to go this way, or I have to go that way. Now, for example, if the topic is smoking, ban on smoking at public places, and for example, you are a smoker, you'll say, why there should be a ban on smoking, huh? And if you're a non-smoker and you are sick of smoking, immediately you say, yes, there should be ban on smoking at public places. So your values, your belief system, the way you think, right, you will immediately get the answer. Either you have to go there, or you have to go there, or you have the third option as well in the middle. You can choose this as well, either there, or no, I'll stay in the middle and I will defend both, right? I'll write a balanced essay. Anyways, let's just see, what is my position? Your position is your view on the topic. That's what I call standpoint. Your standpoint on the topic. Make sure that you say what your position is, and you got to narrate your position very, very clearly. It's not that if I say, how are you feeling? How are you feeling? And you say, now I am feeling happy. Now sad. Now happy. Now sad. See that? There is no position. There should be a position. Position, either you are happy or you are sad, right? So you should describe your position, whatever your position is. 2 things. Either you can take a straightforward position. So either you got to take a straightforward position, that this is my position, I'm in favor of this and I'm against this, or I'm in favor of this or I'm against this, or you can write a balanced essay where you're going to describe both the things, right? Make sure that you say what your position is and that it stays the same. You don't contradict yourself. Sometimes this happens, that you contradict yourself. First you say, I agree with the topic, and somewhere you start to disagree with that as well. So this is what you need to avoid. Now look at task B. Task B is about that private tuition. Keep that in mind. What is your position? Number one, private tuition. Now you got to just read the topic again about private tuition. Some parents believe that extra private lessons outside school hours. Okay, do you have that in mind? Right? Now, number one, your position, there can be three positions. Number one, private tuition has more advantages than disadvantages. Got it? Private tuition has more advantages. This is one position. Right? You got to decide which position you're going to take. Second, private tuition has more disadvantages than advantages. So this is the second position. And third position is the advantages and disadvantages of private tuition are fairly equal. I told you, you can even write a balanced essay. So either advantages outweigh disadvantages, or disadvantages outweigh advantages, or both are fairly equal. There are certain advantages and there are certain disadvantages of that as well. Now, let's go ahead. How do I make my position clear? You should state your position clearly. Clearly means whether you belong to me, or you belong to that party, or you don't belong to anybody. Okay, yeah, it's just like that. Just your position should be clear. Let's just say, I mean, either, it's just a funny thing. Let's just have a little fun as well, because you're feeling, say, either he's going to marry A, or he's going to marry B, or he's not going to marry anyone, right? He's gonna keep a balance between the two, or maybe he's gonna marry both. Okay, to keep the balance, right? So this marriage example can give you a good idea of that. So you should state your position clearly, perhaps as part of your introduction. In your introduction, in the first paragraph of your essay, you've got to describe this. Support it throughout your answer and restate in a different way. Remember one thing, you got to restate the topic time and again in your essay. Restating the topic will tell the examiner that you are on the right track. For example, if you are talking about advantages of private tuition, you say something and then you say, that is why private tuition can help the students. Examiner is clear that he's talking about advantages of the private tuition. Then you say something else, you give an example. This is how private lessons can help get good marks in the exam. Now what are you doing? You are restating the topic. Restating the topic and again. I don't know if you've ever seen a debate. Whenever there is a debate means there are two issues and you have to defend one. You got to defend one issue. So there again and again, for example, if the issues are village life and city life and you are in favor of city life, and time and again you will say, that is why city life is better. Therefore, city life is far better than the village life. These are the advantages of, you will restate the topic and you will tell the examiner, this is my standpoint and I am saying that again and again. So you got to restate that. Okay, support it throughout your answer and restate in the conclusion. Now we go ahead. The next is number 3. It says, underline or highlight the writer's position in this introduction to task B. Now I'm going to show you a paragraph, and this paragraph is the introduction to this task B, the topic which you've seen, and this is going to be the introduction. I'll show you both. I'll show you the topic and I'll show you this paragraph, and then you got to decide which side this person is going to take, right? Let's see that. Please follow me. In many countries, students have to compete to get into colleges and universities when they leave school. Now this is a general statement. He is actually, there is another thing, whenever you start your essay, IELTS essay, you got to rephrase the topic. Rephrase the topic in your own words, according to your own understanding. When you are rephrasing the topic, remember one thing from IELTS writing question paper, do not copy anything. From IELTS writing question paper, do not copy anything. That you say, oh, this sentence is very good, I write it down. If you copy a sentence or the topic exactly from the question paper, they will simply cross it and it will be out of the word count and out of your essay. So you got to rephrase. Rephrase means you are describing the same thing in your own words, right? So they say, in many countries, students have to compete to get into colleges and universities when they leave school. Now what is the what is the statement he's making, that students have to go for competition exam. For this reason, some parents decide to pay for extra lessons to help their children be more successful. Clear? I mean, he is saying the same thing but in a different way, and he's presented his argument that some students, they have to get good marks for getting admission in universities and colleges. For that, they have to go for private tuitions. On the whole, I feel that this is a good idea despite some of the drawbacks of private tuition. Now, what do you think about this essay? About this first paragraph? What do you understand from it?
He's supporting the idea.
Yes, he is supporting the idea, although he is acknowledging that there are some drawbacks, but he says, I feel that this is a good idea despite some of the drawbacks of private tuition. So he will talk about advantages of private tuition and some disadvantages as well, but he is in favor of advantages. It's going to be like a balanced essay. Clear? This is how you guys need to write your first paragraph. In order to get a good bench score in IELTS writing, task 2, essay writing, you got to write your paragraphs like this. And see, it's very simple. Is there any difficult word or vocabulary? No, it's very simple. And this simple language can get maximum bands as well. Let's go ahead. Number 5, I'm following that. You need to restate your position in the conclusion. Whenever you're writing the conclusion of your essay, you will restate your position. Introduction and conclusion, they have one thing in common. In introduction, first you state your position, and in conclusion you restate your position. Means what you said. For example, there should be a ban on smoking at all the public places. That is basically your statement, right? That is what you are stating in introduction. At the end of the essay, in the conclusion, you can write, because of all these reasons, administration or the government should impose ban, and you will use different wording. Don't copy from introduction and you will write the same conclusion. You will change the wording altogether to write the conclusion. So you need to restate your position in the conclusion by pulling together your main ideas and showing how they support your argument. Main ideas, why you are in favor or why you are against that, to support your arguments. Now underline or highlight the writer's position in this conclusion. Now I'm going to show you a conclusion of the essay. You got to just see this conclusion and you got to see what is going to be the underlining statement there. Please go through it. We've got this: evidently private tuition is something that has to be considered carefully. He's mentioning that. However, there is no doubt that it can be enormously helpful. Now this is the sentence that is actually favoring the topic. There is no doubt that it can be enormously helpful in preparing students for important examinations by giving them the extra help they need. Overall, these benefits outweigh the disadvantages. So what do you think about this conclusion? Is he in favor of private tuition or against? In favor of private tuition. Now tell me another thing. This is the conclusion of the essay. Is there any difficult word of vocabulary? It's basically, the game is you need to understand, make up your mind, then your arguments should be strong and solid, and then you should know how to play with the limited words you know, how to play with the limited vocabulary you have. You've read introduction, you've read conclusion. If there is any difficult word, tell me. No. So, and this is the best one. This is the best one. So there are some students who are after flowery words and all that, and they think if I use difficult words I'll get a good bench score. You need to use words appropriately. What if you use difficult words but you're not using them appropriately? Grammatically you are not using them correctly, so that will be a waste of time. That's all from my side. If you like this video, please hit on the like button and don't forget to subscribe my channel, because I'm trying to develop a huge community of IELTS lovers or IELTS candidates. So you should subscribe my channel. Whenever I'm going to share another video, if you click on the bell button, you'll get the notification of that on your mobile or your laptop as well. And I also teach IELTS online. If you want to join my online IELTS classes, you can be the part of that. For that, my WhatsApp number is given at your screen. You can contact me. And one more thing, I have made this IELTS kit. It's easy IELTS kit. It's got 4 books and 8 DVDs. With the help of IELTS kit, you can prepare yourself for IELTS at home without any teacher, but there'll be I in every video and I'll be your teacher. So if you want to get this kit, you can contact us. Asad Yaqub wishes you all the best. Take care. Allah Hafiz.